Hello everyone, today's my video is on is it helpful and healthful. If you remember from my testimony, I actually came from a background of living in fear and fight and flight and um, which was not a really good way to live, because that kept me in the sympathetic state and it stopped me from progressing, and a body can't heal when you're in that sympathetic state. So what I've been learning over the last 11 months since joining Reorigin to do the neuroplasticity is to start training myself to ask, is what I'm thinking or doing helpful and healthful? Is it preventing me from living life? Is it causing me to be in the stress anxiety response, or is it helping me to live my life? I mean, some examples is it helpful to focus on what ifs when you're going through difficult situations? No. I used to be really big on that, I was always like stressing and anxious and go, what if this, what if that, getting myself into such a state, and that's not very helpful. So I've been definitely over the last 11 months changing my life around that, and having more helpful thoughts like standing in faith, and because I'm a Christian, I trust in God, and I put my faith in God, because what's the opposite of fear? Faith. So trusting God. I can't trust God if I'm going what ifs, and and it's about being present now. The future has not even here at the moment. It will look after itself. I need to be focusing on the now, being present in the moment, being present in the, being pleasant in the present. So, and a lot of the times those what ifs don't even come about anyway. So it's just not worth thinking about what ifs. And another thing is, what about ruminating? Is it helpful and healthful to ruminate? Well, I guess it depends on the situation. If it's something that is negative and depressing and gets you angry and all those types of things, then no. Because otherwise you're just going round and round in circles in your brain with, going over the same thing over and over and over again. That's just not helpful. No, that once again puts you in the stress response. I think the best thing is to just let it go. Embrace the things that you can't change and just let it go. And I think if you're ruminating about something good that brings you joy, like remembering something that was so much fun and enjoying, and just, remembering about things like that, then that is good. I think that is a good and helpful ruminating, because, it helps get you in the parasympathetic state, the rest and digest state, which is where you want to be, that calm and relaxed. So, yeah, I think when it comes to ruminating, if it's not helping us, if it's not helping us to feel, peaceful and calm inside, it's best to let things go, embracing the things that we can't change. Is reading into situations that aren't there helpful? No. I used to do that too. I was always reading into things, oh, something's like this or something's like that, when in reality it's not, it's actually like this, or I'd think, oh, someone doesn't like this, is thinking this about me or thinking about that. Those are all insecurities. Insecurities aren't right either. And me being as a Christian, my security is in Christ Jesus. So what's important to me personally is how Jesus thinks about me. So reading into situations and thinking about what people are, assuming what people are thinking and saying about you, that's just wrong. I think it's better just to, show love and compassion to people, and, you know, you don't know what's going on in their life, and, whatever's going on in their life might have nothing to do with me or you or whatever. It's just whatever they're going on in life. So showing that love and compassion for people and understanding, if because they could be going through a difficult time themselves. So we shouldn't read into things. Um, and is it helpful when we have negative and restricting beliefs and thoughts about ourselves and our healing journey, and what we can and cannot do? That's not helpful either, because that can actually restrict us from living our life and fulfilling the calling that God's placed in our lives. And that's not helpful either, because that's how I lived most of my life until 11 months ago. And I just, how can I trust God for my healing if I'm putting all these negative thoughts and restrictions into my life? It's just not helpful. So I just wanted to share all this, because hopefully it will get you thinking, on your healing journey, because, the healing journey is a holistic thing, not just about diet and exercise. It's about our lifestyle. And it's letting go of the wrong thoughts, I think. And I think it's being mindful of what our thoughts are thinking, catching ourselves, with what, if we're thinking something, asking ourselves, is that good? Is that true? Is it helpful and healthful? And if it's not, then, you know, change it to an opposite thing. What's the opposite of fear? Faith. This is where reframing comes into it. And I know probably some people don't like the word reframing. If you don't like the word reframing, opposites is a good one to use, because, as I said, the opposite of fear is faith. The opposite of doubt is believe. And things like that. So I think it's a good thing would be for us to all, during the next few days, is to just keep short tabs of our thoughts and catch them, and ask ourselves, is this good? Is this helpful? And if it's yes, then yay, all good. But if it's not, then work, I think it's good to work on it and reframe it, and and start to work, watch what it does to you in your body, because how we think and how we behave, our limbic system and our nervous system is listening, and it behaves and acts accordingly. So if you're being all down and negative on yourself, what's the limbic system and the nervous system going to do? But if you're standing firm in your faith and belief and moving forward, knowing that you're capable, that you can do things, that you're safe, and that you can move forward and towards the goals in your life, then I think that is great. And I encourage you to go for it. I hope this helps, and helps you to notice a difference in yourself, and that it helps you to become more calm and positive and helpful within yourself as a better person. Okay, God bless. Another thing that I've been working on recently is rushing. Is, using the clock and going, oh, I've got to get the dishes done as quickly as I can, or I've got to do this, and, being ruled by the clock. I don't know if you've ever seen someone that's highly strung. I have. I've actually watched them vacuuming, and they're vacuuming so fast that vacuum cleaner can't even get a chance to pick up the things off the floor, because it's just too fast. And doing the dishes, they do it so fast that they don't actually do a good job on it. And, I think the trouble comes because we live in a fast-paced world where, where everything has to be done on a deadline. We expect services to be done quickly, like if you go to a restaurant or a cafe and you get all angry if they've got slow service, and there's no grace and everything, and towards the people. They're doing their best because it's like they're just like you and I, they're just doing their best to earn a living, and we don't know what's going on in the background, and yet we get angry and demand if the services slack. And I actually feel bad that I in the past have been that way too. I haven't shown the grace and compassion to people. Doesn't matter that we're paying for a service. They're human beings. We're human beings. None of us are perfect. We all make mistakes. We all go through. We all have our good days and bad days, and we should show compassion. And what can lift someone up in a restaurant or a cafe that's serving people by saying, hey, you're doing a really good job, I appreciate you. That can really turn their day around and improve their services. But when someone's forever ripping into them saying, oh, you're doing a lousy job, blah, 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 you're not quick enough, I should have had my meal half an hour ago, whatever it is you're complaining about, I just think what a difference it would make if we all show compassion, say, hey, look, I know it's been really busy, you're doing a good job, and I really appreciate that you're doing the best. And just encourage people, whether even in shop assistance. So I've really been looking at the ways that I've been dealing with, people when I go out there too, and it's like, it's time for a change, because love conquers all. Love and compassion and understanding conquers all, and people getting compliments, it can just change their day and put a smile on their face and helps them get on with the rough day. It just makes a huge difference to someone's day. And I just think going slower is much better. So I'm deliberately now doing the dishes slower, and I am more calmful and peaceful. As with if I'm rushing, I'm actually stressed. I'm in that fight and flight state because I'm trying to get these dishes done instead of just being calm and relaxed, just doing the dishes, and I'm doing it slow. And I think it was about 2-3 weeks ago, we had a super hot day, and I changed the bedding on the bed, and I needed to vacuum and then remake the bed. And it was so hot, it was over the 30 degrees Celsius. I think it was like about 35, 36, which is hot for where we are with all the humidity and everything. So I remembered to go slower. So what I did was I vacuumed slower. I kept telling myself go slower, and it was actually fun. I actually was making myself laugh. And even when I was making the bed, I was doing it slow, and it was like so much fun and enjoyable deliberately going slower, and it just made a huge difference to my whole, you know, physical way of being. I just felt really awesome. And if someone has chronic fatigue, that's the best way to do it. Do things, but do it a lot slower, and you actually end up becoming more productive, and you feel so much better afterwards. You don't feel drained because you went slower and you enjoyed yourself and paced yourself. And there's just something about being like a sloth, those sloth animals, the way they move so slowly. There's a lot of wisdom in that. So I really want to encourage you all to, have a go. Try doing the dishes slower, making your bed slower, walking slower. Try walking backwards too. That's actually fun too. That helps you feel even good inside too, going backwards. So yeah, I just really want to encourage you to do that, because I think everything we can think that is helpful and helps us feel better is so much better. So yeah, I hope this helps you. God bless.